Greetings, geeks and nerds. I'm Lady Universe, and I'm white and nerdy, and I'm going back to the anime variety this time around for a series that a lot of people have actually told me about, and a lot of people have told me to watch, but one that I've always kind of ignored. It's similar to my story with Cowboy Bebop. This was another one that people recommended to me, and I never really got into watching until I heard more and more people talking about it, and also seeing more reviews of it on YouTube. I did have a friend back at the time when this series did come out, which is series just to make otakus feel old. So I guess we can be like Bennett the Sage old takus. This series came out 20 years ago this year. I know, it sucks to say that, doesn't it? But if you read the title of the video, I am of course talking about The Great Samurai Champloo. This is a legendary anime series, and I'm just gonna kind of give my own overview and retrospective of it. And no, I'm not gonna talk about it 20 years later because I don't share any nostalgic factor to Samurai Champloo. I didn't recently watch it until basically this month. So I share no connection to Samurai Champloo at all. But there is something that we're going to have to talk about that's weird with the rest of the voice cast. I'm not going to talk about the entire voice cast because there are so many of them in this series. But if you know who voices who, then, feel free to let other people know in the comment section down below. I do know that the Bloom voices Mugen. The rest of the characters, no idea. But it is wonderful just to kind of go into some of the voices that they do have in this series and kind of talk about or even do a clip of where they were from, which will be an excellent thing. So, let's go back to the past. No, not to review the shitty games that suck ass, as we're going to be talking about Samurai Champloo, this great and kind of in a sense for some otakus, they might say that this is an underrated series, and I'm going to give you guys my own my own opinions on it, good, bad, and anything else in between. So, let's grab our samurai sword, join with the young woman, and hunt down the samurai that smells sunflowers. This is my review and retrospective of Samurai Champloo. Samurai Champloo starts off the plot is kind of inconvenient. There are two samurais named Mugen and Jin, considered to be the best samurais in the world, that team up with the young woman. The young woman hires them both to be her bodyguard, so basically she hires them both to hunt down somebody that she's after, a samurai who smells of sunflowers. But along the way, they'll have to deal with other mischiefs and nonsense that they get themselves involved into on their way while trying to find the samurai in question of the main character Fu. First up is a samurai known only in the series as Mugen, who basically is the sort of main character of the series. As Mugen's past is shrouded in mystery, no one knows where he comes from, no one knows what he's doing here, and everybody questions his unique and fighting style that he has. As Mugen has sort of a wild dance fighting style that nobody has really seen in a swordsman, and it makes Mugen all the more unique for this entire series. As it's easy to point comparisons to Mugen to that of Wolverine, somebody whose origins are shrouded in mystery, but he is still a gentleman and still will follow people to the death no matter what. And similar to Mugen, Wolverine joins a team that he had no idea that he was going to join for the greater good of humanity, and ended up joining them to protect all and all that he loves. And of course, also very similar to Mugen, Wolverine and him both fight in a similar fighting style, where theirs is both wild, both accurate, but both is very painful. But we do get to find out more about Jin and the fact that he grew up on a place that's mostly revolved around criminals, and he grew up learning all about criminals. And while Jin had an unfortunate upbringing and was sentenced to death and almost did die quite a few times, he still does the right thing and being the best samurai that he can be. Then there's the gentleman samurai known only as Jin, the faithful one of the group, and a faithful bodyguard to that of Fu. As Jin is mostly another mysterious one, but mostly that Jin, his story is that he was a samurai who once killed his master and betrayed his clan, so he had to be kicked out. But Jin is quite unique in his own sense, as he can memorize things very quickly and has almost a gentleman series to him, as he will do nothing but to do everything to appease his master Fu. As while Jin might be a samurai, he is still a sweetheart at heart, as he's more like a teddy bear disguised in a samurai's outfit, if that makes sense at all. As unlike Mugen, his wild counterpart, Jin tries always to do the most gentleman thing before breaking out into a fit or with his swords, then let the sword do the talking. But when it comes time to fight, Jin will not back down from a fight or a battle, and especially with his fighting style that is mostly unique, he will do nothing but to stop any and all evil that tried to come before him. And Jin is like a big brother, always looking out for the others, especially to do anything to assistance Fu whenever that she needs him to do anything of a worthy task. And lastly, there is the beautiful mistress, the one that's going after the quest, known only as Fuo. As Fu started off this series doing nothing more than working inside of her uncle's noodle shop, that would be until fate dropped upon her and she decided to help out Mugen and Jin. As while Fu's quest is also mysterious, she tries to do the right thing by helping out her friends, even if it means that she mostly ends herself up in the most unlikely of predicaments. As Fu can mostly be seen as a graceful beauty, mostly one of them that for men to acquire or men to try to take, but mostly she ends up getting herself kidnapped. As Fu is the one that carries the heart and emotion behind this entire series, that she's mostly the counterbalance between everything bad that's going on screen for Mugen or Jin to deal with. As unlike Mugen or Jin, Fu has the most understanding and the most heart behind everything, as she basically carries the weight of the series upon her shoulders. As Fu's quest is to search for the samurai who smells of sunflowers, which, if anybody is a gardener or if anybody's been around sunflowers, they have no smell. So kind of telling Fu telling Mugen and Jin this is not exactly the greatest thing that ever did happen. But it is very common to tell anyone for this series that yes, while it had three characters, mostly Fu is the one that we're mainly focusing on. It's sort of like having a scale. You have Mugen on one side, Jin on the other, but in the center is Fu that basically keeps everything leveled. As this series does have a very notable voice and talent cast, as I will tell you this by far none, that this, and I can't point out the certain voice actors' parts in this because some of the voice actors that work on this series are very extremely good at changing their vocal ranges. But I will tell you, but I'm not lying to you when I'm going to do this to you, that this series does have some very notable voice actors. Why do I say that? Because a lot of the voice actors have come from other anime, such as Steve Bloom, but there's also another one, or they come from Power Rangers. I'm not kidding. A lot of the voice actors and voice actresses come from Power Rangers, and I am seriously not joking. As you can look at any ending scene of Samurai Champloo, and there are Power Ranger voice actors by far none. They had some of the greats of the voice acting cast that mostly is notably Power Rangers. Like the ones I can point out here is the great Barbara Goodson.
How about we keep going on beat with your wand?
I always have to do everything myself. Mister, I'll deal with you later. Oh, magic wand! Make my buzzer grow!
The legendary and also equally talented counterpart of Barbara Goodson, and also that they worked on the same series together and also played a married couple. There's the legendary, talented, and one of my favorite voice actors, and I'm certain a lot of people probably watching this, Robert Axelrod.
Leave that metal junk pile alone and go destroy the Rangers! Now!
And also one of the most unique choices to pick for a voice actor before we get to the really obscure one that some people might know and other people might not, as she's one of my personal favorites, but more on her in just a bit. And that is Kurt Strauss. Now, a lot of people are probably wondering, who the world are you talking about? But there is one notable character, one of my favorite side characters, that Kurt has been known to voice. And let's cue the big boy on screen.
You are not worthy enough to darken the entrance to this temple! We'll see who's worthy after I destroy this temple!
All my old school nerds and Power Ranger fans, high five if you got that one before I showed the scene. High five. Yeah. All the new school kids watching this are going, who's the purple ninja? Why is he a part of this thing? is all a big thing. And I know that Ninja is supposed to be blue, but unless I'm colorblind maybe, am I the only one that really sees that dude as blue or more purple? Let me know. And there's also one notable voice actress and one of my personal favorite voice actresses of the Power Ranger franchise that she's not only voiced Alpha, but she later on went to voice Circuit in Power Ranger Time Force. The wonderful, the beautiful, the fantastic, and also the funny Wendy Lee is one of the final voice actors on the list that basically had appeared in Power Rangers, and I love this woman to pieces. She is funny, she's funny, she's charming, and she has such a notable voice that when you hear it, it's like, that is the iconic Wendy Lee, as also Wendy will be the final lineup for notable voice actors that I knew from this series.
What I really need here is Zane! Just what the doctor ordered! Zane, I've been trying to reach you. The others need your help.
What, now?
Well, what are you waiting for? They need you right away.
Are you sure?
Zane! Yes, I'm sure. Can't you see?
I still love that shoot, love that woman. All the people that I have shown, and also more, even some that might have not been listed, did make it onto Samurai Champloo, which I could be wrong, but I swear to God that in one of the episodes of Whiskey Racket, I heard the voice of Johnny Bosch, and I could be highly mistaken in thinking that it's not him, but it sounded so much like him, especially towards the ending yell. And even in that same episode, I swear to God, I heard the voice actor for Rito Revolto from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So maybe there is a bigger Power Ranger connection in the Samurai Champloo than anything else. But it goes without saying that Samurai Champloo is indeed a samurai series, as it has some incredible or noteworthy fight scenes. As I swear to God that the animators really took their time and said, nope, you know, let's really take our time, work things out, and make these animated fight scenes some of the most gorgeous fight scenes that can ever be put to television screen. And if you don't believe me, well, let's take a look at some of those fancy fight scenes from Samurai Champloo, shall we? As there probably is some doubters out there going, it doesn't have fancy fight scenes unlike Bleach or Yu Yu Hakusho or even fucking Dragon Ball Z. You have no culture whatsoever. To which I say, you wanna bet?
Cinema! Excellent. You exceeded my expectations. Shit.
As with Samurai Champloo, I can definitely see why this is held up by many otaku as being one of their favorite anime series, and I can definitely see why. The brilliant animation quality that goes into it, the great directing, the wonderful voice cast, and also the stupendous storytelling, as many of these episodes are really, really damn good. I could point out a lot of my favorites here, but I think I'll save that for a top 10, if not this year, then always next year to talk about it, as it is a wonderful and magical series for anyone to really enjoy. Although it could be a little bit skeptical because this would basically be TV maturity, as there is some parts where there is nudity and mostly blood, gore, and violence because, well, this is a samurai series. As it is a wonderful, new, unique series that I've never seen in anime before. I think that the closest thing that it might come true to is maybe like the original, and I mean way back, series of Lone Wolf and Cub, as it kind of shares a comparison, except if Cub didn't just have Lone Wolf, but instead two wolves. But you can still see the similarity between Lone Wolf and Cub here, as both Jin and Mugen look after Fu, even though they're all roughly around the same age, but I'm just drawing comparisons. But I really, again, can see why. And also that ending scene will forever be stuck in my head when Summer comes to, I forget what it is when someone comes to somewhere and, you know, when you get a certain song stuck in your head is one thing, but the fact that you're waiting for every single episode just so you can get that earworm stuck out of your head is the most annoying part. But this is a gorgeous series to look at. I mean, every single different episode has something gorgeous to look at, and it is quite an amazing series, with quite also a great payoff at the end. I'm not gonna spoil who the samurai that Fu was looking for is, as I kind of called it in between midway to the series before Fu went, yeah, this is what he is. I sat right here and went, I called that shit. But it is a unique, wonderful, and great anime series. So if you're looking for something old school to kind of watch, Samurai Champloo would definitely be your cup of tea. It is 26 episodes, and let me tell you that while watching this for this review, it takes a long time to get through because some episodes are really good, others just kind of like drag the pace for a two-parter or even a three-parter, but it is well worth it in the end. So take my recommendation and give Samurai Champloo a watch because otakus that have seen this series, I wasn't one of them, can definitely tell you that this is a noteworthy series worth checking out, so I highly recommend Samurai Champloo to any and all those who haven't watched it, just like I haven't until now. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me at Twitter with a link in the description down below. And if there is an anime series that I have not seen that you are interested in, and if you wanted me to maybe like watch someone else review it, like Bennett the Sage or even Bob Samurai here on YouTube, then let me know in the comments down below, and I can probably try picking it up and also checking it out. But also, if there is something that interests you, just remember that I also do a YouTube viewer poll, I guess I'd call it, where you guys can vote what I'm going to review for the rest of the month or for a few days or whatever, which really does come in handy. So let me tell you. But if there is a series that I haven't checked out that you're very interested in or you're a diehard fan of, let me know in the comment section down below. Love to hear your feedback, and let me know if you're a fan of Samurai Champloo. What are your opinions on the series, and if you really did like it, or if you haven't seen it yet, let me know in the comment section down below as well. As this was a video was coming because I picked up this series like three years ago, I think 2 or 3 years ago, and I haven't gotten around to watching it until just now. So yeah, go to show you how busy that I am with everything in between. But I'm still happy to sit my ass down and actually enjoy the series. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me at Twitter with a link in the description down below. I've read Universe, I've read Nudie, keep your on. And thank you guys so much for watching this Lazy Universe review of Samurai Champloo. And if you want to see more like this, please be sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon, and also like the video because it helps a lot. I've read Universe, I've read Nudie, keep your on. And until next time, guys, take care.